I think we've got a team full of warriors, full of really competitive players that are desperate to win.
Eddie, your last 3 fixtures have been against Liverpool, Manchester United and Manchester City. Do you feel this gives you an assessment, really, a measure of where you are, really, in terms of the club's progression?
Yeah, I think they've been 3 really interesting games because I think our overall performance in all 3 has been very good. High-level games. We've gone toe-to-toe with all of those teams. Now we've come out beaten in all 3. But on the general performance, probably that's a harsh reflection on those 3 games. And today was a similar pattern because I thought we were competitive. We had our chances. We didn't take them and Manchester City took theirs.
How concerning is that the goals have dried up 3 games without scoring?
Yeah, I think, I'm not going to lie and say it's not a concern because of course it is, but I think if you're still creating them, and we did today, not in abundance because you're playing one of the best teams in world football, but we had the moments. I back the players over long term that we will start scoring again. But we need to, that's a fact, because the confidence of the team is dependent on it, really. So it's certainly something for us to reflect on.
Did the players need any lifting after last weekend? Was there a job to do on your part there?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you lose such a huge game, I think naturally there is a disappointment from the group. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. They're fiercely determined to do well. So, yeah, we had work to do in the week, but I don't think you saw a team today wallowing in any kind of self-pity or in any negative moment. I thought you see a team today that was fully committed, very brave, very aggressive, and very much in that game.
So you have got the belief within the squad that you can push on from here now to the finish?
Certainly from my perspective, I think the last 3 games has told us that. We're competitive. Now we have things to improve. We have areas of the team to grow, but certainly compared to our games against Manchester City last year, I think we've seen a huge improvement.
Just a quick one. How do you think Anthony Gordon's settling in?
Yeah, very well. I thought he played well today. I thought he had some really good moments. I probably wanted him to get the ball more, to be honest. I thought as a team we needed to try and supply maybe a little bit quicker to our wide men. But Anthony can be pleased with his work.
Just Chris Wofford, The Athletic.
Hi Eddie, it was one of the changes you made. There were 3 changes. Can you just talk us through the decisions on bringing those 3 in and taking 3 players out?
Yeah, just to freshen up the team. I think Fabian suffered concussion, so last week very mild, but he was ineligible to play. You'll have to remind me of the other one.
Nick in goal as well.
Yeah, well, obviously Nick coming back. So.
And in terms of Fabian, was that detected during the week, or what happened during the game last week? Because obviously he took the knock during the game.
He took a nasty knock to his eye, had a nasty cut and bruise around that area. He did some tests with the doctor in the week, and yeah, so quite early in the week we knew he wasn't going to be available to play.
And in terms of fitness of other players, it looked like Joelinton and Bruno went down a couple of times. Are they all right after the game?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know 100%. I think Bruno was just feeling the effects of that ankle from last week, but I don't think any long-term problem there. And Joe, I think, got a stamp on his foot.
Scott Wilson.
Eddie, just on the back of that, is there any worry with Fabian that he has had a history of concussions? He obviously had a really quite bad one for Switzerland a while ago. Is that part of your thinking with the way he's going to have to be handled through this? Yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily part of my thinking. The doctor who's been with us for a long period of time knows Fabian's history, so that's all taken into account with the concussion protocol that we'll follow to the letter.
Miles at the back.
Yeah, there probably was, although desperately disappointed that it was today. With the 2 games we've got to come before the international break, that's going to be a long absence for him. I think I thought it was harsh booking today for him. And, you know, he plays on the edge. He's a fierce competitor. I thought he played very well again today. So we're certainly going to miss him. Yeah, we've got obviously a good bench today. You look at the quality of the players we had. The squad was near enough at full strength, minus Fabian. Yeah, we're going to need that. We're going to need that strength with Joe missing.
Okay. Anyone else? Kieran?
Eddie, there was a moment where Dan Burn and Erling Haaland went head to head. Were you pleased how competitive your team were even after going behind? They stuck in and stood up.
Yeah, it's not in doubt for me. I think we've got a team full of warriors, full of really competitive players that are desperate to win. So that's so important for me as a manager to see that drive in the team. And we're not going to sit back. We're not going to take what's happening in the game. We stand up for ourselves and stand up for each other. I want to see that on the pitch.
And it felt like a different Newcastle to the team that came here last season. Do you think the team that comes here next season will be very different as well?
Different, hopefully in a positive way. Yeah, I think last year was a really tough experience. I thought there was quite a big gap between the two teams. I certainly think this season, in the 2 games we've had, they've been very good games that were on a knife edge and could have gone either way. So that's a big improvement for us. Hopefully we can come back next year an even better team, but certainly that becomes more difficult.
Jordan?
Was it a difficult decision to start Anthony ahead of Allan Saint-Maximin?
I think all decisions that you have with the quality of the squad that we've got are tough calls, but I don't want to become fixated with playing one team. I think we're in a moment now where we have the strength and depth to rotate the starting lineup. So without predicting the future, I'd like the flexibility to rotate, to keep players fresh, and also to use the bench. So today's plan was to use the bench and get fresh players on the pitch so we could execute the high intensity game that we felt to be competitive in the match.
Does Alex's performance give you more food for thought ahead of next week? I think that's 2 impressive cameos from the bench.
Yeah, certainly it does. I think he's growing and learning and developing all the time. I was pleased with his introduction. I was pleased with all the subs' impact when they came on today. And that's a good sign for the future for us.